friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here for another natural healing testimonies, and this is number 21, I believe. So what this is people from all over send me their own personal stories on how they use some kind of herb or something else that helped them heal themselves or a family member or even friend from various different kinds of ailments. And so I really like doing this because it helps give people some real life stories on how these things really can work. And I'm always learning about some new herb or something I had never heard about, and how it helped others is so encouraging to me. And so I like passing this information on to you because I have my own stories, but there's so many more great ones out there, and that we can glean a lot from other people's experience. So let's get to the 3 stories of today. Hello, I really enjoy your videos, and I want to send a testimonial of how the natural way is the only way for me. Now, I used to be big into juicing and smoothies. I used to even be vegetarian. Long story short, I got very tired of doing that. The smoothies were putting pounds on me. I did not have time to not only prep a bunch of food, but to consume it too. Forget it. I had gotten a promotion at work, and it changed my lifestyle, not making me wealthy, but reducing my time in the kitchen. I was meat mostly for several years. I felt great for a long time and exercised and lost 40 pounds. After about 3 years of that, I developed rashes, dry skin, and just a general feeling of being run down. I couldn't understand because I was already making my own soaps and moisturizers. My long, beautiful hair broke off. I was devastated and knew I wouldn't be able to hide it if I lost any more. I decided then and there to research and get my hair back. I was severely vitamin deficient. I started by going to the store and getting some beef liver. I dehydrated it and made capsules. After a while, my hair stopped coming out by the handful. Next capsule was oyster. If you have ever priced either of these capsules, you'll see how expensive they are. Then I made a hair, skin, and nail vitamin out of herbs such as horsetail, lavender, rosemary, sea buckthorn, oat tops, alfalfa, and passion flower. I gave that to my sister, and she reported nail growth in 2 weeks. I started incorporating a homemade liquid vitamin for myself. I made a thyroid capsule of mazuku, purple sea moss, and kelp. My vitamin water contains bamboo leaf, collagen, a powder that I'm not allowed to mention on YouTube, by the way, lemon peel or juice, fenugreek, and honey. My hair is growing. The breakage has stopped. I make my own infused oils and fats for topical use. My nails are growing the longest they've ever been. My eyebrows are coming back in too. It is quite incredible. I have 2 dehydrators that feature raw modes so that I can fine-tune my temps. I usually dial in at 118 degrees. I have 3 Vitamix machines that chop things into powder. I have an incredible machine that wrings plants from liquids for my infusions. I love doing this for myself. My favorite oil to make is sea buckthorn. I had a 10-year-old wound on my finger that wouldn't heal. When I introduced sea buckthorn oil internally and topically, it started disappearing. It is gone, and I don't even remember which finger it was on. I'm seeing cell regeneration firsthand, and it is incredible. You can absolutely change your health and turn things around before it is too late. I want to add that I'm not a gardener. I purchase my herbs and produce, but manufacture my own vitamins and products. I turn my kitchen into a lab on my days off and love it. I also love your videos. I'm born and raised in Moses Lake, Washington. I lived there for a couple years as a very young girl. I watch you from Dayton, Ohio. Keep the wonderful videos coming. Thanks so much for your testimonial. I learned something new in there. I think I've heard of sea buckthorn, but I've never, ever experimented with it or tried it. And I don't recall if I've heard anyone share their own personal testimony about that. A lot of the other herbs like horsetail, we can get wild down at the property. I do need to start incorporating that more. I was making teas for a while. I do add it to my infused oil that I use for my hair and my scalp massage because of its benefits for hair growth, along with rosemary and other herbs that you mentioned. Anyway, so that's really cool. So again, thank you for that. Let's get to the next one. I know I've written about plantain salve before, but I have another testimonial for it. A man that comes to Bible study on Wednesday nights is a Vietnam veteran. He was exposed to Agent Orange while he was there. His arms and legs will break out with open sores, and he sees someone at the VA occasionally about them. He doesn't come to study when he's broken out because he says they just look bad. I brought him some salve, which has plantain, castor oil, vitamin E oil, sweet almond oil, and tea tree oils and beeswax. He showed me a spot on his leg, said it didn't hurt, but it was open. He thanked me for the salve. The next Wednesday I saw him, he showed it to me again, and it was almost completely healed. He said 3 days was all it took, and was amazed at how well it worked. Better than the VA gave him. It may not be for everyone, but it sure worked for him. You're right. God is good all the time. That is so cool. Thank you, Deb, for sharing that with us. Okay, third story. Hi, Heidi. I wanted to tell you a testimony about a healing oil I had no idea would even work. I am blind, but thank God I am able to see some color. I remembered way back when my Italian grandparents would always pick and eat dandelions, so it got me to thinking, what are the health benefits of dandelion? Which, by the way, I have an old video on the health benefits of dandelion that includes the root, the stems, the flowers, and the leaves. Well, after I did the research, I started eating them abundantly for years. One of the first amazing discoveries was that cold and flu seasons, and when all else were getting sick, I was not. I, of course, was eating a whole lot of garlic and oregano just because I'm Italian. I can relate. Over the year, I had been suffering some horrible dry psoriasis on both sides of my nostril, thinking it was due to the winter and the heat. Then, come to find out, it was never going away. It was so painful. It would scab, it would get raw, it would burn, and no matter what I was putting on my face, it would not help. So I thought, why not infuse some really good olive oil that I naturally was putting on my skin anyway with dandelion? Well, I did need it right away, and the only part of the plant I was able to gather because of my visual impairment was the flower. And yes, the flower is the part that has the most benefits to your skin health, and why I use it in my infused oils for both healing and just my regular skin cream. I can see spots of yellow, and I can feel with my hands to pick abundance. I had not known to dry them before I infused the oil, so I did not. After about 3 days, I discovered the painful psoriasis was going away, so I continued to use it. Psoriasis had never come back, and bonus, my fine lines and wrinkles were fading away. I love this. My forehead lines really bothered me. I could feel the deep grooves with my fingers, and I just did not like that. At age 46 with flawless skin, I am so pleased to say the dandelion infusion works. Did it go rancid because I did not dry them? Yes, it did. Since then, I have started making a fusion with dandelion, horsetail, calendula, and plantain. Excellent. I infused it with avocado oil and was giving it to my mother because she has something on her face. The doctors didn't even know what it is. It is half a dollar size, red and raw irritant on her cheek and crawls over the nose. Very painful. She has started to use the infusion. The spot is diminishing significantly. and her wrinkles are now going away. So very happy that God has given us all the wonderful gifts of nature. Please keep doing what you're doing. You are very meaningful in my life and a true friend. Tina Marie. Thank you for that, Tina. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And that, you know, these are all things I use and infuse in my oils too. And I really appreciate you sharing that part about the oil infusion going rancid as a result of using the fresh dandelion. And that's one of the reasons why it's when it comes to infusing oils, you should always dry your herbs first, or make sure you're just starting off with dry herbs, even if you have to purchase them. Though this is the first time I heard anyone actually share that this happened to them, so that just reinforces to me why it is important to go ahead and dehydrate those. Now, if you're making tinctures, extracts, you don't have to start with dehydrated herbs. I do a lot of the times, but sometimes I use fresh. But when it comes to oils, I always dehydrate them first, so I don't have to worry about rancidity. And olive oil is one too, that if it sits for too long in a warm place, it can also go rancid. So switching to avocado oil was a wise choice. You can also use like a fractionated coconut oil. The reason I say fractionated, I've never used it myself, but that's because it stays in a liquid form. But if you live in a warm climate where coconut oil always stays in a liquid form anyway, that's another good option, because coconut oil and avocado oil are two of the oils you don't have to worry about going rancid like you do with the olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, which has the most health benefits, but is also more prone to go rancid. Anyway, again, thank you for everyone who shared your stories, not just here, but in the past, previous videos, which, by the way, I'll be linking to the full playlist down below that include the other 20 I've done so far. So if you're enjoying this, you can listen to other people's testimonials and get some more really great information that might help you in whatever issue that you are personally dealing with, or someone that you love. And if you would like to submit your own testimonial, please send that to raincountryhomestead@gmail.com with the title Natural Healing Testimony, so I know which folder to drop that into. And you can still also share your stories in the comments down below so people can read right away. But just know any that will go into a future video will only be those that are emailed to me, because that's so much easier for me to keep track of. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. And God bless.